Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to your latest Rangers Review News Bulletin on Thursday, the 27th of February. I'm Derek Clark, of course. You know that by now. And plenty of Rangers news to get stuck into this afternoon. Good night last night, wasn't it, at Rugby Park? Rangers coming from behind emphatically to win by 4-2 against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park to earn Barry Ferguson his first win as Rangers boss. And he had plenty to say after the game. It's fair to say he was delighted to emerge victorious and get the better of his former Ibrox teammate Derek McInnes. Some interesting takeaways that he was touching on. He was asked in his post-match press conference about Cyriel Dessers, who scored a double, notching goals number 19 and 20 for the season. And we'll touch on what Cyriel Dessers had to say after the game as well. Barry said, "I thought Cyriel led the line really well. It's just me. Listen, I've got high standards, and I think sometimes I look in there thinking, God, what have we got here on the sidelines? But listen, that's what it's all about. And I thought he was excellent. And listen, I got a response. They responded to me. I got reaction from them. And listen, one thing that I've always said about Cyriel is he gives you everything he's got. And I thought tonight he was excellent. Other points that Barry had to say. He was asked about the character and desire that the team showed. And he says, I've seen it in stages, but you need to show every single game you're involved in. And that's the demands I'm putting on the players. They just looked a bit nervy, and maybe we gave them a bit too much information, and they didn't maybe understand the way that I wanted to go about the game. But I've only had one day with them, one training session, an hour and a half on the grass. That was it, but I'm not using it as an excuse. The first 20 to 25 minutes is nowhere near good enough. They understood that, but they found a way to get back in. They got the goal. Czerny got the goal. I came in at half-time, and it's easy for me to start knocking heads together and going off my head. But I said, erase that out of your mind. Look what you've done in the last 10 minutes of the half. Now going even better that in the second. And I thought to myself, we controlled the game in the second half. We controlled it. We were hungrier, and they showed all the ingredients that I want to see from a Rangers team. So Barry Ferguson, certainly a happy man after last night, and he enjoyed himself, didn't he? Great scenes at the end of that game when he and the coaching staff alongside the players went over to acknowledge the fans, who were terrific, as they always are in these away matches. Cyriel Dessers, let's speak about him then, because that's him celebrating his first goal of two. He ran into the crowd when he notched the Rangers' third goal of the night. He certainly enjoyed that. What a finish it was too, when he was picked out by Ridvan. Fantastic pass from Ridvan Yilmaz, and Dessers supplied the finish into the corner. So some of the interesting takeaways that he had to say afterwards. He says, obviously now it's nice emotions, but 2 hours ago, not that nice. I think they had a very tough first 20 to 30 minutes, but you can see how we reacted after that. The character we showed in a difficult game against a difficult opponent and a difficult place to come, then I can be very proud of our team. Asked about what you would say about the halftime and the dressing room, what the situation was at the break. He says, obviously about starting the game, there was not much nice words, which I can understand, and which is what was needed. But we were still in the game, and that was an important item for us, and we had to at least measure our intensity and hopefully even add a layer. And I think we did that in the second half. And then you see it's even nice to play here. You can see that we were very dangerous. It was asked as well, Cyriel Dessers, about Barry coming in. And did he know Ferguson before he became manager? He says, I've seen him in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, I know what he did for the club. 5 league titles, 5 Scottish Cups, all these things. So that speaks for itself. He's a big name at the club, a big personality, and I think it's good that he's around now. He knows the club through and through. He knows what the fans want, what the club is all about, and he's just trying to bring that to us. Obviously, some guys have been around for a long time. They know this as well, but I think it's good to hear it from him also. And he was asked, do you feel as though you're playing for a legend in some ways? He says, oh yeah, definitely he's a Rangers legend. So for us and all of his staff, we have some players who have been very important for Rangers. And like I said, they know the club, they know the little things, they know how the fans feel. So that's also what they try to bring to the group. That's what we try to take from them, learn from that, and try to take it and convert it onto the pitch. On the fact he scored 20 goals, he says, yeah, 20 goals in February, it's not that bad, but yeah, there's still 3 months to play. I want more goals, more wins. So we just have to keep going. Yeah, you wouldn't bet against Cyriel getting a fair few more goals before the season is up. But interestingly, he was quizzed. Does it take the shine off it a little bit? That personal landmark doesn't mean as much because you've only got one trophy left to fight for. Would you rather be fighting for the trophies and have 5 goals? He said, exactly. Goals and personal milestones are nice, but you want the team milestones, and that's winning cups, winning league titles, and we'll do everything for that game by game and just focus on, for example, now Saturday, the next game at Ibrox, we have to do something for our fans, give them something back after the last 2 performances there. So I think that's where we need to start. Interestingly, he was asked about Clinton Enciala, who was, of course, subbed after around 20 minutes of the game. It's fair to say the Rangers backline was having a nightmare in the opening stages of that one. I would have subbed probably Robin Proper at that point, but I can understand why Clinton was hooked. And he was asked, Cyriel, how much are the players going to rally around him after it was obviously a difficult experience for him tonight? He says, we've got his back. He doesn't have to worry about that. That's football. I think everybody in the dressing room has seen that situation before in his career. He's very, very young. I don't think he even has 10 professional games. So he still has things to learn, but we see his quality every day and he'll be fine. He'll learn from this. He'll bounce back because he also has that in him. So he'll be fine. He'll be important for our team as well. So nice words there from Cyriel Dessers on Clinton Enciala. Barry spoke positively about him as well, saying you'll have a word with him, but he has to think of the team. Yeah, and no doubt, I think it will do him the world of good in the long term. He's still learning the game, Clinton Enciala. It's easy to forget he's just a young boy, and as Cyriel Dessers says there, he is a baby in terms of his footballing career. So difficult night for him. A difficult afternoon as well, of course, at the weekend against St Mirren. But you'd like to think that he'll emerge a stronger player through it, through these adversities. Let's Tavernier, incidentally, I wanted to bring him up as well because he was speaking about Clinton Enciala as well. On Sky last night, he says, I was just chatting him just there. It's things you've just got to keep working on. He can't put his head down. These are things that you just come with football. We'll all get around him. Clint's a young lad, he said as well. So, yeah, and what Ferguson said about him, he said, I've got to make decisions is what he had to say. Clinton's a young player. He's got huge potential, but it could have been a number of players. But I've been brought here to do a job. I have to make some tough decisions at times. I'm not scared to make tough decisions, but it worked. It certainly did work. It was a good call from Barry and the coaching staff to bring on Ridvan Yilmaz at that point and stick him out at right back. Another interesting takeaway from the game last night. I know that Derek McInnes wasn't too happy about Rangers' second goal and a corner that was given. He didn't think it was a corner. Dermot Gallagher on Sky Sports' Ref Watch has had his say on that decision. Now, the decision to give Rangers, to award Rangers a corner, McInnes, as I mentioned, wasn't best pleased. Dermot Gallagher says, what I will say is I do think this is a corner. I do think it strikes the defender and goes out for a corner. The referee is quite right. He gives a goal kick, but he's had some input and then he gives a corner. It becomes a talking point because they score from it. Got to say, when I first seen it and I seen the replay, I thought it was a corner as well. I thought it took a deflection and went out for a corner. So, yeah, it's one of those ones. I think that a right call was arrived at. So, yeah, I don't really understand Derek McInnes' gripe there. Listen to this. You can slow it down all you like, but I wouldn't be going in heavy on Don Robertson for that one. Off the pitch, and it's a bit of news that was emerging more today, that it wasn't quite hitting the headlines last night due to Rangers, of course, being involved at Rugby Park, and that is Parag Marathi giving an interview to the Financial Times Business of Football Summit, and he confirmed that Rangers won't become Leeds United's feeder club. He is, of course, the Leeds United chairman. And the 49ers enterprises are set to complete that sensational takeover of Rangers, with Marathi spearheading the consortium. Interestingly, he spoke on that interview. He said, "We always have our eyes and ears open. We're always looking at other opportunities. Multi-club from the standpoint of a hierarchy, that's not really how we're looking at it. We're looking at it as almost standalone. Leeds United stands alone, and if we were to pursue another club, that club would stand alone. Are there benefits to having leadership and ownership of multiple clubs? Absolutely, with what you could share and do on the commercial side, even sometimes on the sporting side. But we don't really look at it, and we haven't contemplated it as one club as a feeder club to another. Each club deserves all of our attention and effort." And he was speaking as well about the takeover, and he broke his silence on that. Didn't say much, wasn't giving too much away. He says, "I can't really comment on whatever rumours might be out there, but we are looking at other opportunities. It is doable to replicate the passion of Leeds." He was alluding to what we are looking for as clubs with the right bones, a history of success and potential for growth. And if you are a sports person and you live it and treat it as a way of life like I do, then absolutely there is enough room in your heart to love all your sports properties, just like there is to love all of your children. So interesting stuff there from Parag Marathi. Certainly the wheels are in motion on the proposed Rangers takeover. There'll be interesting times ahead for the Ibrox club. Remember, to keep abreast of all the latest goings on with regards to that, make sure you're subscribed to the website. We've got a great offer on at the moment where it's just £1 for 6 months. You can also make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. That's totally free, of course. So make sure you're subscribed to both to keep up to date with all the latest goings on from Ibrox. Right, folks, that'll do us there. Big thank you for tuning in as ever. Just a heads up, tomorrow I'm on the morning briefing with Joshua. We hope you can join us for that, 9:30. As always, until then, enjoy your Thursday. Bye for now.